In this video, we show how to remove a stuck burr from a dental handpiece. We will also go over all the causes of why a burr would get stuck inside a dental handpiece. We have a Midwest tradition here that has a burr that got snapped off inside, and we press the button and try to yank it out, or it's too short to get out with the pliers. And so we are going to use a burr removal tool in order to get the burr out. First, we'll remove the back cap. Oftentimes this tool, it just fits through the middle of the button side of the turbine. Oftentimes this tool will just, without taking the turbine out, will just pop the burr out. In this case, it's very stuck, so we take the whole turbine out and put it in a press block, and we will fit the tool in between the little button hole on the back end of the turbine and hit it with a hammer once or twice, and the burr will pop out. As you can see, that tool just fits right through the entire turbine, so the only thing that it would contact when going into the button side of the turbine would be the burr that is stuck inside of the turbine. Once you have the burr out of the turbine, we're going to go ahead and make sure that the head and the cap of the handpiece is very clean. Once you have a handpiece open, really ever, go ahead and clean it, because the most common thing for damage, either that being locking a burr in place inside the chuck or ruining the bearings on the turbine or the chuck mechanism, would be debris or dirt inside the head of the handpiece. So we use a Q-tip and alcohol to remove that debris from the inside of the handpiece. The burr that comes out of the turbine, whether it looks good or not, be sure to throw it away. Oftentimes burrs, especially cheap burrs, will be oversized, undersized, not really concentric, and so I always throw away the burr that comes out of the handpiece, even if it appears to be good. I'll never give it back to the dentist, because chances are it'll cause the same issue. Once you have the burr removed, we want to make sure that the chuck itself is clean. It's not always the case that debris would be what caused the chuck to not function properly, but it only helps to be able to remove that debris from the inside of the handpiece before putting a new burr in. And in this case, you can see that there is some dirt that comes out of the inside of that chuck. And we're going to pull test again and just make sure that the chuck is holding very tightly. If the chuck doesn't hold tightly, you do want to replace the entire turbine at this stage. It's possible that the chuck is just ruined at the stage that it holds a burr or locks a burr in place, but in the case of this one, it seems to function quite well, and the burr is now locking into place again. The only other thing that could potentially be the cause is a back cap. If a back cap is just bad, or else the little button on the interior of the cap, which we're going to point at with a dental scaler, is worn down, and that could wear down over time, or maybe the back cap gets pressed as a turbine is in rotation, and the metal on metal contact causes that button to wear down. If that button is worn, I do recommend replacing the cap also, just to make sure that all problems with the button function of locking the burr are corrected. So we put a new back cap, which would be a new internal button on that cap also, and just test it one more time just to make sure that the burr goes in and out easily. And last thing would be, always remember to tighten that cap really tight before returning it to the customer to make sure that the cap is going to hold on there tightly. Thank you.